What's going on, guys? My name is Ty, and I have Gabby here with me, and we are Weddings Made Perfect podcast. That is Weddings Made Perfect podcast. You could email us at weddingsmadeperiectpodcast@gmail.com or find us on Facebook or Instagram. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please sub, like, comment, hit that notification bell. Do whatever you want to do. By all means, do whatever. But yeah, this is Weddings Made Perfect podcast. We're here to give you guys some tips and knowledge on the wedding industry, kind of behind the scenes and whatnot. Also, we kind of get some special guests, which, by the way, if you haven't seen the title already, we have an awesome special guest from Concetta's Italian restaurant. You see what I did there? So we're going to be talking about food and whatnot. Do you know why I'm wearing a polo instead of a hoodie? Do you want to know why? Like, look at this. I'm dressing pretty nice.
Because it's hot outside?
We're talking about food. Like, look at this. Like, I have to dress nice because we're going to be sitting down and talking about mental food. We're going to be going through a nice little fancy dinner. I got my little cocktail, Ghost.
I think you got enough Ghost for today.
No, like it's... You better sit tight, Gabby, because we're about to talk about food in the next couple couple minutes. But yeah, guys, we just got done with the episode. I'm all dressed nice and fancy because of it, and not wearing my hoodie, even though it is black. So there's that still. But yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about Concetta's. They're a really cool company. Great catering. I've had their pastas several times. Like, they are very tasty and yummy. They do a lot of cool events, also weddings. They also do bar services. So if you need a full bar service for your wedding, they do that as well. All the information that we're going to be talking about is down in the descriptions, and also going to be on Facebook or Instagram. So definitely check that out if needed. So we're going to be talking about it. We have Caitlin, which is not sitting here now, but she will be in the next couple minutes.
Wait, she's not here?
She's not here? What? No, she's ghosted, ghost. Anyways, this is
There's a lot going on today.
There's a lot going on today, apparently. But she's going to be sitting here in this kind of general area, If you're listening to it, I'm sorry, but I'm pointing on my left side. Just going to be sitting here talking about some food and whatnot. So it's going to be a really cool episode, like I said. But Gabby, do you have a tip for me? What's so funny?
Well, first, I'm going to mention here that Weddings Made Perfect podcast is sponsored by ND Events, LLC. ND Events is a St. Louis-based events company that specializes in photography, videography, DJ, and photo booth services, as well as officiant and event planning services. You can find ND Events at ndevents.com. That's ENDY events.com. And you can also find them on Facebook and Instagram at ND Events.
Yeah, that was our sponsor. He's a really cool dude, Brian ND. He owns ND Events. Literally hire them for anything. That's what they do. They just do everything, Just one-stop shop situation going on, just hanging out with them. And definitely all that good stuff. Also, by the way, drum roll, please. We are actually moving. I did that like way before your drum roll. Delayed. We are actually moving. So in June, we'll be in a new place. You're going to be seeing a really cool, different design. I got a really cool idea for you guys. But yeah, we are now in the books of moving. We are also having an open house on June 24th, a grand opening. Apparently, we're going to be doing like a ribbon cut or something like that.
The city of Ballwin will be cutting our ribbon. So
if you want to come and hang out with me and Gabby, we will be there. I might do some sort of podcast of some sort that day. Not like all day, but like probably like an hour or something like that of just hanging out. Kind of have some special guests that are there, just kind of talking, and just kind of, do a little maybe something with it. But yeah, June 24th, I'll give you more information on it. But that's going to be the day that we're going to be doing that. So if you want to come and check us out, you definitely can. So, but yeah, like I said, guys, this is...
I do have a tip for you today, Tyler.
No, what? I almost skipped your tip.
It's a poor tip, honestly.
What's that tip?
The tip for you today is to utilize all resources to choose your caterer. So the food is all about your guests, right? Mm-hmm. And you want them to be satisfied. So be sure to choose carefully. And you can do this by asking your venue for suggestions. They've probably got a few caterers that they've used before and know and trust. By asking for referrals from your friends. So whoever they've used in the past, they're probably going to have a pretty honest opinion about how their food was for their day. Also, you can read online reviews too. Obviously, the internet has a lot of opinions about the places they've chosen to. So it can be a good way to get like an honest opinion from a wide range of people that have used that service before. So that can be really helpful. And then schedule a tasting with your top 3 choices. So if you have 3 places that you're really interested in, it can be, obviously a deal breaker to actually try that food and see how it goes. And then, but do be careful that some tastings cost money. So if your top 3 places all cost $50 to come and have dinner, you're going to be out some money, especially if it's per guest. So keep that in mind.
Are you a Yelper? Do you Yelp?
I have a Yelp, but I don't use it.
So you're not the typical, like, one little thing happens, they're just like, they ruined my whole day.
No.
They did.
Not to mention the, 3 out of 5 stars for excellent service that people do.
Excellent service, 2 out of 5. It's like, okay, thanks. That doesn't make sense.
People like that are ruining businesses because some people do rely on Yelp reviews.
Oh, I know.
When they want to go out. And, one bad Yelp review can be like, oh, we'll just...
Even, Google review, it's bad, but, I won't go anything that's, less than, I guess, 3.9.
Yeah.
And it's bad.
3.9? That's pretty high.
Oh, I know. I'm very picky.
You
and
are picky.
The thing is,
You can miss out on somewhere that's just...
I don't do any reviews, or I know, but I'm just
rough around the edges.
I'm just proving you a point. It's bad. I know it's bad, but that's why I can't look at reviews or I can't do anything because I'm weird with that, especially with food.
I generally, honestly, don't look for reviews unless I'm in a place where I've never been before. Then I'll probably
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair. You do travel a lot. So.
Yeah, so if I go down to Florida, I definitely, or just wherever, I make sure that, I check it out, especially fast food. It's just, I'm really weird with fast food. Anyways, I'm trying not to eat as much, but honestly, if it's a fast food place and if it's anything less than 4, then I definitely won't.
I usually just don't crave fast. If I'm ready to eat food out, I'm going to go out.
Oh, yeah.
Situation.
Well, I'm always on the go. So
that's true.
It kind of became my thing, which it shouldn't have, but it did. But anyways, yeah, it's all bad. But I got a question for you before we get to our special guest. So we are going to be talking about catering and food and whatnot. So my question is, Gabby, are you a buffeter or a plate dish for weddings? When you're sitting as a guest, or even maybe when you get married or something, are you going to be a buffeter or are you going to be a plated dish?
That's a good question. So I can't honestly tell you one way or the other, mostly because I think I just want appetizers at my wedding, but we'll see.
Some hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, kind of situation, but almost like a buffet style, if you're hungry, go get something. If you're not, don't.
I've been to a couple of those that just had hors d'oeuvres and cocktails and just kind of, or I guess finger foods, as you would say.
Oh. I don't think anybody should say that, honestly.
You got grandma and oh, thank you for these crap.
But anyways, I'll never turn down any type of food unless.
Well, so really my thing is this. I'm more avid with the buffet, even though people are touching food or whatever. Besides that whole thing, but especially with whole COVID situation happening, I've seen buffets being done where they have the what's that called? Plexiglass kind of thing
barrier.
In the front, and then they have servers and they still serve you the food and you can't go down the line. You can still get whatever you want. So that's a cool concept, which I kind of like. But the problem is plated dish is actually more expensive than the buffet. But then when it comes to plated dish, even though you picked as a guest, you chicken or beef, or sometimes you don't get picked at all because the couple may choose a certain beef or a poultry or a beef surf and turf type of style. So you might have 2 different meat options with a vegetable and some sort of like starchy food. Like those are fine, but the only problem is that I've noticed in those like higher end weddings that do it, or even just in general, like any weddings that have done a plated dish, I've seen more food wasted than actually going to a buffet and actually
people pick what they
want because which people don't fully understand, which you probably have to like ask them if they do this or not. But when you do get a buffet style, more cater styled thing, they'll actually be able to take it home with you after the day. So like whatever's left over is you bring that home or whatever, or divide it up with your family or whatever. So, cause I mean like you pay for that tray. Sure. So, but my thing is like, I feel like buffet is kind of a better style of doing it, even though it's not, I guess, the most pleasant way of doing it.
Flashy.
But it's definitely, I don't know. I just feel like it's more family friendly, or just friendly for people that maybe not so avid on like a certain meat of some sort. Yeah. So I don't know.
What would you choose?
Probably buffet. I mean, honestly. Yeah. Because I mean, like, it's just easier.
You thinking like pasta or like?
Well, probably some sort of like beef, some sort of chicken, some sort of like pasta, I guess, and then some just normal vegetables and just the basic adequacy of it. But at the same time, though, like I said, my biggest things that I want to take care of is good drinks, good food, and then good music. Those are the top three of my importance for like a wedding would be. So I like joke around and say like, I'll probably get it catered from like Cheesecake Factory or something like that. Because like, Sarah and I love Cheesecake Factory, so like that's kind of like
1,000 choices.
Well, not even that. It's just like that's kind of like our celebratory place where if something big happens in our life, or like we only go there for like certain occasions. So like we'll go for her birthday because that's just been like a tradition since I've known her. And then because it was her birthday, I was like, hey, let's go out for your dinner. She's like, well, I'm craving like cheesecake, and I was like, all right, cool, or Cheesecake Factory. And then next year happened. I was like, what's your birthday? I guess we should go to Cheesecake Factory. She's like, yeah. And then like it kind of was a thing that we just did. But then if like something happens where like I accomplish something or she accomplished something or whatever, like that's kind of like our go-to place for like a celebratory thing. So it would kind of just make sense to just get that catered there because they do actually cater.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Wow. I didn't know that.
But it would probably be that. But then
that sounds expensive, honestly.
Probably is. You know, gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Wow, big baller over here.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Cheesecake Factory, but not cheesecake. Cold Stone Creamery cake.
See, you brought it up. I didn't. See that, guys? Planting seeds. I did not even bring it up. I mean, I do later on in this episode, but...
No, he's brought it up already today.
Oh, yes, I did bring it up today first. I can't say that. But you guys will check it out. But yeah, guys, like I said, just contact us at Weddings By Perfect podcast@gmail.com, or you can email us. Well, I just said that. Or you could Facebook message us, Instagram, all that good stuff. Or just type in
YouTube.
Type in Weddings Be Perfect podcast on Facebook, Instagram.
Do you think we suck?
Do we think it's okay? It's fine.
We want to know.
Let us know. Buffet versus catering.
Yeah.
Or wow, catering and buffet is the same thing. Buffet versus plated. Like, let us know. Like, what do you think is the best? Or maybe just kind of do what Gabby said and just get some hors d'oeuvres and some cocktails and whatnot. But yeah, like I said, guys, we've got this really cool episode coming, like literally in a couple of seconds now. We have Caitlin from Concetta. And we kind of ask her all these informations, just kind of figuring out what they are, what they're about, what they have to offer, and all that good stuff. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the episode. So yes, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. This is Caitlin, like I said, from Concettas. See, I told you I was going to mess it up. Concettas, that's what it is. From Concettas. So yeah, can you just kind of give us like a background on like how, I guess, the Concettas started and like what kind of like a story behind that?
So I don't know exactly everything, but I know that it's been something of a restaurant for a very, very long time, and it's actually been Concetta's since 1985. So the current owner bought the business like 16, 17 years ago, and then he got his first wedding from word of mouth, and then he just started doing weddings, and now catering is the only thing we do. We actually shut down the dine-in portion of the restaurant to focus solely on catering, and we're doing carry-out right now for the duration of the pandemic.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool though. So you're basically right now you're just focusing on weddings and then some carry out, I guess, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, we do corporate stuff. We do, like businesses, doctor's office, things like that. But obviously, weddings is the most important part of what we do.
All right, cool. So question. So do you guys do just like buffet catering style, or do you guys actually do plated dishes as well?
So we do buffet and we do plated, and we will do whatever somebody wants. There's nothing outside of the realm of what we would be willing to do. We're very flexible, being family owned and everything. We don't have like policies in the way of us trying new and different things.
Oh, that's really awesome. So it's not like just strictly what's on the menu. Like if somebody asked for something, special, you might.
Yeah, we actually had a couple whose the husband was actually from Guadalajara, and I think that's where he was from. Not sure, but they wanted us to make like something authentic to where he was from, and we like got the recipe, had them come in to do a tasting, had them come in to do a second one to tweak it, and made that for his wedding. So, and we've done macaroni and cheese bars, baked potato bars.
Really?
So, if you can dream it, I mean,
I told you.
Potato bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've seen those. So I forgot what it was. But it was in Forest Park. They had an actual like mashed potato bar where they actually
Mashed
had
potato bar.
mashed potato bar. So what they had
My
was
mom and I are
like,
gonna fight.
they had like these little like cocktail like actual glasses that you put it in.
Like a glassware.
Yeah. They made it like super bougie. It was super awesome. And so you put it in there, but then they had actual just regular mashed potatoes and they had sweet mashed potatoes. And then like of course
Like sweet potatoes?
So, sweet potato. So like but then the sweet potato had like cinnamon, marshmallow puff, fluff, or whatever you want to call that. Like all these like desserty ones, I guess you would say.
I'm off on that.
But then you had the other ones too. Like you could use it as well. But
Was there like a gravy fountain? Tell me there was a gravy fountain.
not like a fountain, but they did have like gravy. So they had like the country style and
they should've
browns.
had fountain.
They should have.
I know.
Absolutely.
That was a missed opportunity. If you're gonna go bougie, you gotta go all the way.
all the way.
They had like a what's that called? Fondue fountain. Like they had.
Are
they
they
had
rich?
That. I mean,
It's
it
gonna
was.
cost a lot of money.
What is that pavilion? The Mark Twain Pavilion by the Jewel Box. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's outside. It's one of the hugest pavilion.
Oh, you're talking about the World's Fair Pavilion?
Maybe. I don't know. As those like stairs, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was. Griffin the Gargoyles band was playing. That's all I remember. I don't know. It was one of those like it was one of my companies, but the one that before this company that I worked for, that they're very high end wedding but yeah, it was cool. Mashed potato.
That is really cool.
Sweet potato, whatever. Anyways, but yes. Have you guys actually like done like a huge pig or something like that? Have you guys gotten a request for that? Or I'm just kind of curious.
They could have possibly done one before my time, but I've never done one.
Like a luau roast.
Yeah.
That's dangerous, actually.
For weddings, not only like food and stuff, do you guys have like a package or something that involves like bar services or anything like that?
Yeah, so we do have bar packages, and the way that our packages are is that we have like the package for the food, and then we have a package for the bar, and then everything else is a la carte. So you can get plasticware, or you can get china, or I mean, if you really wanted to, you could get paper, and they're all different prices.
Oh, wow.
So we don't have packages that are necessarily all encompassing, because it would restrict you to, what you
like
could
tiers.
do.
And you'd be like, well, I want this from the third tier and that from the first tier. And
It allows us to be flexible enough to work with any budget.
Yeah. Or any style, too. I feel like you could have different styles, too, that kind of mesh together.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. How many weddings do you guys do per year, like on average?
Honestly, I don't really know. So I know that this year looks a little bit different than previous years. But
Are you guys getting slammed this year, I'm assuming, or?
so we have a lot of people that obviously had to move to this year from last year.
Yeah.
It still is not one of the busiest years. I think people have been really like apprehensive, even like Future Brides 2022, where we would be booking a ton of those weddings like right around now, you know, with engagement season being a little bit behind us. Like people are just hesitant because they're afraid, you know, something's going to happen
Got to
again.
see what's around the corner.
There's some hesitations, but at the same time, though, I've definitely been seeing more overlapping happening this year, especially for, I don't know, for at least from my side of things, for like booking for videos and stuff. There has been a lot of like double booking happening, and I'm just like, oh. So I just didn't know if potentially like what you guys are dealing with as well. So like, what are like maybe your, I guess, biggest, sellers, I guess we would say, or like kind of like your fame, or I'm trying to think how to word
Favorites.
that.
What are the favorites?
What are your favorite, or what are the favorites that people normally kind of like gravitate to for?
So we have, for beef dishes, we have a dish called beef arcabasso, which is filet medallions that are served with sautéed mushrooms and a lemon butter wine sauce and Provel cheese. It's absolutely outstanding. Our most favorite chicken is chicken Daniel, which is charbroiled chicken with sautéed mushrooms and broccoli and a Provel and cream sauce. And then we have, of course, pasta con broccoli, baked muscatoli, you know. And then our salad dressing is absolutely off the chain.
It is.
I should have eaten before this.
Oh, I know. I should
made a
have
big
too.
mistake.
No, every single time I've done like an actual, what's those called? Bridal shows, I always try to see if they're there because
Go over and sneak
the
a plate.
food is so good. And I'm just like, I always sit there and just talk to you guys and like try to like get more. And, like, and then of
Get
course,
out of
when it's-
there. It's not for you, Tyler. God.
Go change your shirt and come back.
Go back.
What's this?
Is this? Is this chicken?
Grab a random girl. Come on, honey. We're going to try this.
Nope, I hit that, and then after that, I hit a Cold Stone. So it works out perfectly.
I was just thinking if we had a Cold Stone creamery like guest on, you would probably faint.
Oh, we will. We will one of these days. I am obsessed with the Cold Stone Creamery. I don't know why. I just love their ice cream cakes. Do you guys
They're
do?
good.
Do you guys do ice cream cakes?
No, we do not.
Noted.
You guys would have persuaded me. I mean, I probably would have. I mean, your pasta's amazing, so I mean, like, I might as well just, get everything from here.
If somebody wanted an ice cream cake badly enough, I'm sure we'd figure out how to
you
make
probably
it.
would. You probably would.
These guys
Okay,
just call them Cold Stone.
I've got a hard-hitting question here.
Okay.
What is your favorite item on the menu?
Oh, geez. So it would probably be between the beef arcabasso and the Cajun chicken pasta.
Oh, Cajun chicken.
Cajun
That sounds
chicken
really
pasta.
Yeah.
That sounds good for sure.
So how does like the actual booking side of things kind of work for like a couple? So like, let's say they call you guys up, like how much in advance do they need? Like, do they need a down deposit? Like, how does that all like work to like kind of like book with you guys?
So usually we try to go off of the tasting, right? Because we're face to face, we can get them a detailed quote that accurately reflects, what they want and what they need for their day. And so at that time, then we'll try to say, okay, if you want to save your date, then it's a $200 deposit. That's it. The deposit is non-refundable and it goes towards the cost of the food. But every now and then, people have other places that they want to go entertain, and that's fine. So if that's the case, they can call us back and do the deposit over the phone, and we'll send them, the proper documentation to prove that they did so. Really, though, as far as like a timeline of how close to the wedding, I mean, we've had people call us and be like, my wedding's in 2 weeks. Can you do it?
my
And it's
gosh.
like, sure, absolutely,
That's cool.
But 2 weeks before the wedding is usually the deadline for the head count, and that's when the rest of their money is due. So if they don't want to pay anything else up until 2 weeks prior, then they don't have to. And then at that point, we would take their actual guest count into consideration, change their pricing accordingly, and then their final balance would be due.
Oh, cool.
So let's say you guys have a wedding coming up with a 200-person wedding, and they've got like 2 pasta options and 2 meat options, vegetable, salad. How many chefs and staff would you need to like handle that day?
So for the like in-house stuff,
Yeah.
putting everything together, we have 2 cooks.
What? That's it?
We have 2 cooks.
Wow.
I can cook. That's actually what I did before I took over being in charge.
Yeah.
But we have 2 cooks and 1 catering gal that kind of like packs the Cambros, makes the salad coolers and so on. And then I'm kind of there to fill in the blanks. But we can get a lot done with.
Wow, that's crazy.
We have 5 full-time employees. And 1 month in October, 1 weekend we had 6 weddings on Saturday. I think we had 1 on Friday and 2 on Sunday. So obviously
is
we had event
insane.
staff, but as far as cooking and putting everything together, it was just us.
That's crazy.
Gee, that's a large amount.
I'm just trying to
Crazy.
like physically imagine the amount of like
Pastas and just stuff that you guys are like completely making. I don't know. It's just, I can't think like that.
That's crazy.
Because I don't know. I just never. I mean, besides like cooking at home or like whatever, like I just can't see cooking in that large amount of numbers.
Yeah.
Like that's just insane. It takes special people to be able to like do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just.
It takes a lot of time for larger items like that to cook.
So
too.
like, because you do that, because I mean, like obviously you can't do that like a week in advance to like fully cook. So you have to cook it like what, Friday night or the day of or the morning of, or how do you guys like?
So like some things you can par cook, but pretty much you have to like have a schedule on your ovens. You have to have a schedule on your fryers. You have
Sure.
to know.
Yeah,
We've put
absolutely.
1,000 pieces of chicken out of our kitchen, and you've seen our kitchen.
Yes, I have.
So we fed 1,000 people in a weekend before out of that kitchen, and it just takes, if you have to get there at 5 o'clock in the morning and
Yeah.
figure out a strategy, then that's what you have to
I
do.
have no doubt. I'm sure you've been up earlier than that.
Oh yeah.
Some days. I can't even imagine. For
Yeah.
sure. So you kind of mentioned that you at one point were like, part of the kitchen staff and stuff. What's your position now?
So I'm the catering director. My position there is kind of like all encompassing. Any
Yeah.
like new,
Jack of all trades.
yeah, anything new we take on, but I still oversee operations in the kitchen. It's kind of hard for me to let go of that. That's
Yeah,
been my baby
yeah.
for a long time, but I started as a server there and kind of like moved up to the ranks.
That's awesome. So you kind of deal with the brides that are interested in like a tasting or like setting up their day and stuff as well.
Yeah, I a lot of the brides, I deal with them from the time they reach out to get information to the day of,
Yeah.
and then give them a hug in their dress
Yeah.
and tell them best wishes or whatever, which
that's
is always
awesome.
so cool.
That's awesome too. Just to know that there's one person like overseeing everything. Like you're not dealing with several different people calling you at different times. Like you're talking to Caitlin. She you asked her for this. She's got it. Day of, she's here doing it. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a nightmare when you have a bunch of people, and I do
Yeah.
have. Gloria is the assistant
Yeah.
director there, and she is an absolute dream come true.
Yeah.
She's really good at stuff like that as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. You two seem like a really good team too.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like bouncing off of each other and just kind of handling
Yeah,
all of it.
getting through it together,
Yeah,
shoulder
exactly.
to shoulder.
Yeah. So, are there like certain venues that you guys work at a lot, or like that use you specifically?
Yeah, so we're at O'Day Lodge a lot,
Oh, yeah.
Aquila Barn, Wow in Alton. We're at Neo a lot.
Wow.
Let me think. The White Owl, the Sheldon, Mahler Ballroom.
Wow.
I know I'm missing somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to hear
Oh,
this and
yeah.
be like, Caitlin, I can't believe you left us off of there.
No. There's so many of them. I mean, we work at all of them too. So,
We always have to ask because like it's just kind of one of those things where like to go. Is there like a favorite like venue that you've actually been to or like that you like to work with or whatever?
So I think that the favorite part about some of these venues is the people that I get to work with.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
Cool.
very partial to O'Day because Abby Rose over there, who was Abby Holmes, we actually did her wedding. And she was always like so nice to me when I was emailing her about brides. And then she showed up for a tasting one day and I was like, oh, is this happening? So then like me and her mom were like best friends.
Aw.
And so it's just like really cool. So I'm always like, they're good people to work
Yeah.
with over there. I like going over there. The people at Aquila Barn, same thing. So I think obviously having a good relationship with the people who own the place or
Yeah.
run the place makes all the difference
That's
in the
so
world.
like St. Louis too. Like this whole industry here is very like you have your relationships and you're like it's networking to a T, but it's also like we see each other all the time, and to like know that everybody's taking care of other people and like just watching out for other vendors and stuff like that in the industry is just really amazing here.
Right.
It's because there's a lot of St. Louis is it is small, but it's just the industry itself is very like tight knit, as I guess you would say that.
Yeah.
Because not only there's a lot of course, bridal shows and stuff like that, but there's also like networking that's inside the actual like wedding industry. I've been to a couple like just actual network for like the Knot or the Wire or like whatever you want to do. Like it's the Wedding Wire. That's what they're called. For a second, I was like, what the heck is that? But yeah, there's moments where like they'll have a night where all of the vendor people will just go and just hang out and drink and just kind of socialize with each other and like kind of build that relationship. But when you go there, like not in a bad way, but like there's a lot of like kind of clicky moments where it was very like clicky and like very just. I don't know.
I mean, when you're in the drama of the wedding scene, it's all drama,
like,
all of it. You can't escape it. Yeah.
Who's this new photographer?
But then I feel like you find the people that feel the exact same way about the situation of a clique, and it's like they either hate it and you're like, okay, let's be buds because this is ridiculous, or you're like, oh, I'm cliquey, like let's be friends,
or
like,
it's the battle of the pasta.
Yeah.
You guys will win. You guys have the best pasta. I'm sorry. Like, sorry.
Why do you have the last word?
Because my
the
word is
arbiter
very
of taste.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like the Chef Ramsay of just taste.
Simmer down now.
I think it's just like anything else in life, though. Like you really reap what you sow. So if you are being cliquey and you're not open to new relationships within this industry, you really cut yourself off at the knees.
Without a doubt. And you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours situation all the time. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'll refer you. Okay, well then I'll refer you. Like, and that's big, especially from like a catering company too. Like from, the venues referring you and then you guys referring anybody else because you're going to be the second stop on anybody's list. So it's big.
Is there like any like upcoming like events or battle shows or anything you guys are going to be a part of that people may be able to come and kind of get more information on from you guys?
We don't have any very soon. We just were at the Pink Bride.
Yeah.
It was a really good show, really big show. We are coming to the showcase with you guys in July.
Oh, yeah.
Or June.
Oh, I mean, that's still close. I mean, like.
Is it the Carol Pope Bride St. Louis?
No, your preferred vendor thing.
Our open house.
Your open house, yeah.
In June.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Right.
Yeah, that thing. We have that. Yeah, of course.
Sure.
She knows more about it than us.
It's not true.
No. So June 24th, right?
June 24th. That's it.
That's what it is. We don't even know our own dates.
We'll be there.
People are gonna be like, wait,
Yeah,
what? They
see
don't
you
know their own thing. Spoiler alert: we have a open house. I didn't even know. No, it's so yeah. So I mean, that's still something that we guys come. I mean, so definitely, if you guys want to come check us out, June 24th is gonna be at our new office.
There's gonna be snacks from Concetta's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
the
I mean,
appetizers.
come down, check it out. So, but yeah, so I mean, that's relatively close though. So, but if you guys do want to come, not only just hang out with us, or whatever, but also get some more information about that as well. That'd be kind of cool.
What is your favorite part about working in the like wedding business industry field, etc.?
I think that the coolest part about it is that you're involved in the most important day of somebody's life. And, at some point, depending on your experience, you become invested.
Yeah.
It's like every time I go to a different wedding, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to cry this time when they do the speeches. But then I find myself in tears, and it's just like, it's kind of cool. You get to see different things, the way people do things. And everybody's like planning a wedding so hard. I'm like, well, no problem. I've seen all these different ways. But then, of course, you have all the stories. And it's rewarding whenever it all pans out.
The appreciation. I'm sure too, like there's something really special about making food for people and them like really enjoying it. Like there's something really personal about that. And I'm sure like you guys get even more appreciation too when it's like there's like, oh my gosh, I just love the food so much. And you're just like, oh yay, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, we had a wedding that was like 300 people like a week ago, and everybody was like freaking out about it. And then I talked to the groom like 2 days later. He was like in Mexico on their honeymoon, and he's like, we couldn't have asked for a better wedding. And it's like, okay, you know, that'll keep me going for the next month or so.
That's amazing.
What has been like one of your favorite moments? I mean, besides that, of course, but like, has there been like kind of like a moment that has stuck out the most for you that kind of like was like, oh wow, like this is why I'm doing this?
Whenever I've had like twice, I think, where mother of the bride has come up to me, you know, like when I'm drenched in sweat. Looking
Your
crazy at
legs
the end of the night,
about
and
to give
just
out.
like, Caitlin, thank you so much. You know, everything was perfect. And then, of course, the shout outs that have my name in it. Like when me and Gloria get a review and it has our name in it, we're like, we made it. So Weddings at West Winds is trying to get their feet wet right now. They have not had a wedding out there yet, so they are allowing us to offer somebody the absolute deal of a lifetime.
Oh, wow.
So if a bride wants to book with them right now and gets a hold of us, they can book the venue for $2,500. Their base package is usually $5,000.
Wow.
Awesome. So we'll actually put that information down in the descriptions, and then also you guys could find that information on our Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, we'll definitely plug that in for you guys. And then also for just in general, I guess, retrospect, how do they contact you guys to potentially book for catering?
So they can find us on The Knot. They can find us on Wedding Wire. They can email us at info@concettas-stcharles.com or the restaurant phone number 636-946-2468.
Awesome. And then also we're going to put that in the description as well, so you don't have to worry about like writing that down. Because that'd be terrible for like driving. So, because I always like come up with like information. I'm like, yeah, write that down. I'm just like, wait, you guys are probably driving. Like, probably not a good idea. Don't write that down. Just keep focusing, and then I'll put it in the description for you. No, but thank you guys, or thank you so much for like coming. This is Caitlin from Concetta's. Definitely book them for catering. They have great pasta. Definitely come on the 24th and try some out. Because I mean, sounds like they'll have some.
Pasta con broccoli is.
That's good. That's great. So definitely check it out. But once again, guys, this is What is My Perfect Podcast, and we're signing out.